Welcome to Asian Mama Network. We're mothers sharing thoughts and experiences on topics that affects and uplift mothers. Hi, I'm Kim. I'm a working mom, a tech nerd, and a total foodie. I'm excited to share my experiences on this motherhood journey.
Hi, I'm Elle, a mom, wife, software professional, and entrepreneur. Hi, everyone. We'll be talking about children's illnesses that we experience with our own kids in the first 5 years. So, right out of the hospital, my first experience with children illness was then my son was first exited from the hospital. A nurse did comment that his lips looks dry. However, he was visited by his doctor and a lactation specialist prior to his discharge, and there was no red flags raised. So that night, he was crying a lot, very discomfort. We didn't know what to do. While we were in the hospital, it was recommended to have the child learn to latch and not give him formula. It was encouraged to use your own milk over formula. So, and which makes sense because if he or your child feeds on you, you will produce more milk. However, at my age and the long time it took for labor, my milk production was not at the level it should be. And I was not aware of that. So we made the call to go to the ER the same day he was discharged. And we found out that he needed to have formula until I could produce enough milk for him to use. So that was my first experience with the ER. We didn't think it was that fast. It was less than 24 hours before we went to see a doctor or go to the ER. So, how about you, Kim? What was your record for?
For us, my daughter didn't have dehydration issues, but she was a preemie. She came out like 3 weeks early, so we had to stay an extra couple days because of this, and they let us know that she had jaundice, and then where her skin and eyes were like yellow. Um, so the hospital sent us home with a light blanket where we had to put her on for like a week, and it was scary because we never heard what jaundice was. So what jaundice is, so normally, the body breaks, your blood cells breaks into yellow, the yellow fluid in your body breaks it down. And this yellow fluid is called bilirubin. And the liver from your body takes the bilirubin out of the blood and becomes a fluid called bile. So this bile helps people break down their food. But in some newborns, their liver can't do this very well. And too much bilirubin builds up. Their skin and eyes look yellow because of this. So jaundice goes away usually in 2 to 3 weeks after eating or drinking milk from the mom as their liver develops and they start feeding. But because she's a preemie and came out early, so then she got jaundice when she came out because her liver wasn't developed as well as other babies. Did your baby have jaundice, Elle?
Oh, that's frightening. We were fortunate that he didn't have jaundice. We were looking out for it actually, and and seemed like he was borderline because they're testing certain, right? They do a blood test
Yes.
too, right, from the
Mhm.
foot,
Yes.
and luckily he was okay. We experienced more illnesses once with daycare, I would say. But I
Yeah.
believe your daughter was put into daycare earlier than my son's. So would you like to talk on that one then?
Yeah, she definitely did start daycare earlier. She started like when she was 7.5 to closer to 8 months, because I had to go back to work. I had no other option or help. So then she was pretty much sick every week for the first couple months. She was there at daycare, and then later on it was like once a month, and then became less and less. but during the first year, kids get sick all the time. And then just like other kids, she would gotten sick like from colds, flus, hand, foot, mouth, and croup cough too as well.
My
Um,
goodness.
yeah, it's a lot. I would have to take off like pretty much every week, a couple days every week off just to take her from daycare because she would get sick from something.
You like how our 5 days of PTO or even 2 weeks doesn't mean much once you have a kid or more?
No, you burn through them so quickly.
Yeah,
Like the first month, I burned through all my sick days right
yeah.
away.
We are
Crazy.
fortunate that I had my mom because I was doing my MBA when I had my son. And I was in my MBA during pregnancy and then having him. And so my mom wanted to make sure I stay with my MBA program and not quit. So she looked after him for the first few years and she got so attached to him she didn't want him to start school yet. But we're like, he needs to build his immunity. Did your daughter get COVID?
My daughter did not get COVID, but she did get the croup cough,
So she had
which
RSV?
not RSV, but croup cough. It sounds like a seal barking when they cough, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
respiratory uh, virus too.
Yeah, yeah.
Or,
Well,
you
that's
know,
you could get the croup cough from
hmm
RSV.
Really. So
Yes,
that's one of the
yes,
symptoms.
yes. So when my son got RSV, that was one of the things we were looking for. We took him to the ER because I thought his cough was sound like a seal. So the RSV stands for respiratory syncytial virus, and one of its main thing is you could get the croup cough. It's because the kid is coughing and they're having trouble breathing, and that's why they start sound like a barking sound.
Yeah, it's like a barking seal, but there's nothing really you can do about it. They said that use hot bath or turn on the shower and the steam helps, or use a humidifier helps with that. But then you just gotta wait it out like a week or two for
Well,
it to
it's a
go
virus,
away.
yeah. But they
Yeah,
do have a shot to alleviate it.
Alleviate the symptoms, but it doesn't make it go away.
Yeah. Yeah. So he did get the shot when he was in the hospital.
hmm
So,
That's good.
yeah, that was the third hospital visit. Yeah. Tons of fevers and
Always
and you
fever.
know what? With the fever, we didn't really take him to the ER every time he had a fever because before we had a kid, we bumped into a friend who had a kid already at Costco, and they're like, "You're gonna find yourself, you know, wanting to go to the ER every time your kid gets a fever, but only go when they're lethargic because they're meant to have the fever to build their immunity." So he thought that that's one of the learned lessons he learned as a new parent because it's your first child and you get worried. However, the temperature just shows the body's getting hotter, the fighting it. It's the lethargy is what we have to listen to. And my my sibling, who's in the medical field, her husband finally just threw away the thermometer too. Because all that tells you is that your child is either having a fever or fighting something. The main indicator is whether their body is successfully fighting it or not. So that's what I had to learn to deal with because I'll call her for everything.
It's good to have a doctor in the house.
Oh no, but they learn to make you feel bad. It's like I feel like and I know she didn't mean to, but because of her medical background, like her nurses would tell her this and then she really say those are just numbers or are they having this issue or that issue? And the nurse is like, I'll get back to you. Like the new nurses, there are seasoned nurses, know what to look for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first time we went to the hospital because her fever, and then there's like, don't worry about it. If it's not over 104, then there's nothing to worry about. It's just a fever. Her body's fighting enough. So
Mhm.
yeah, first time parents, you worry about everything, every little
Yes.
thing, but after a while you learn
Yeah.
what to really worry about and not to worry about.
Yeah. The coughing, the fever, that's fine. the worst part about like the sick is my son starts to vomit. Sometimes when he coughs so much, he can't control it. And it could happen in the bed, it could happen over rugs. And luckily we don't have carpet, but oh my goodness. We have a sick pail in the car, and it's just a pail. My long ago we used to catch it with a towel as newbies. We think, oh, we could catch your vomit with a towel in the bed. But then there's one time he had a mega vomit, a total projectile.
Wow.
That's when my husband took up the Home Depot bucket, those orange buckets, is like, that's your puke pail. So anytime he's sick or he's eating but he's sick, we have a pail next to him just in case he's coughing. And as he gets older, as he was getting older, I've asked him to run to a trash can or run to like a toilet or sink, just anywhere where he could let it out, because you don't have a puke pill every time in public, and you don't want to train them to just puke wherever they are at. So when he was younger, definitely the puke pill. Even we slept with a puke pill nearby. So, but yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of work running around.
Oh, oh yeah, lots of laundry. I hate it when it's
Lots of
on the
laundry.
bed. Hmm.
Yeah, the first year, look out, you'll be doing laundry constantly
Yeah.
for
Yeah, not
everything.
from puking, it's the other.
Yeah, the other end, right?
Yeah.
The other end of the front end.
Yeah. You're like, they're so small. How
Yeah,
much
but
more clothes would they have?
yeah, but you're always changing them.
Yes,
Not only
yeah.
diaper, but clothes.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so definitely laundry and going for some lessons learned that's very helpful for any new time parents or even existing parents. I know we're talking about and I'm gonna continue from the vomiting is have a good carpet cleaner. We had a dog that is getting older and sometimes he has accidents and actually when it came very handy when we had a son that pukes wherever he was standing. I'm like, oh, this is the best investment ever. Those
Yeah,
portable carpet cleaners. Yeah.
either that or a bucket.
Yeah. A bucket doesn't, you need to spray some, it's more than just, yeah, some chemicals on it to kill whatever thing it was. It's, oh, geez Louise. We like to segue to some other lessons learned that Kim and I have had over the years with our children from birth till like about grade school age, early grade school age. I'll start with the blowing the nose. Definitely start as soon as you can. Sure, we use the nose feeder snot sucker. It's an amazing thing. I know it's gross, sucking the snot, but it does better than that bulb because the bulb that you get from the hospital, you don't know if mold, as you clean it, mold grows in that bulb, like the bath toys, right? With the snot sucker, you clean it, it clears their nose, and then you go through the exercises of having them, blow bubbles and then blow bubbles with their nose or try to blow through one nostrils.
Yeah,
My
all the booger
son's,
bubbles.
yeah, my son's almost 4, but he can't blow his nose yet still. But
Yeah, it's hard. So another lesson learned that I learned from the doctors is that as they grow from baby to toddlerhood, just to keep, make sure that they're eating and hygiene and everything, but make sure that they're gaining, as long as they're gaining weight and they're hydrated, that's good enough. Some parents worry that their kids too skinny. I know a lot of Asian parents worry that because their Asian kids are smaller on the smaller side on the weight and they're very slim, but as long as they're gaining weight, every month and stuff, that's fine. That's what they told me. And just to make sure that they wash their hands whenever they come out from in and going in and outside the house, or anytime they touch anything or whatever they play with, making sure that they're clean and not putting all that stuff in their mouth all the time as babies and kids do right now.
oh, also from going in and out, but also using the restroom. Oh my goodness. I would see my son, and I'm so grateful. He's at an age where he's potty trained. But oh my goodness. He goes to the restroom and I was like, he's like, I'm done. I was like, okay, let's, wipe your, private parts. Of course, I say the words for that to him. And he has an itchy eye and he starts scratching his eyes. I was like, oh, no, you got to wash your hands first before you touch your eyes or any part of your body. Uh,
That's
so,
funny.
yeah, our kids are very reactive, right?
Oh
They go
yeah.
with the instinct. They're like, "Oh, I'm itchy. I'm gonna scratch it."
Mm-hmm.
There's no planning of, okay, I went to the restroom. My hands are dirty. I need to wash it first. So it is continual learning. Even with play, every time they play, we do, and it's a great thing that the preschool reinforce that too a lot.
Yeah, and especially like washing hands and stuff, they're always wanting to play, so they don't ever want to wash their hands. So you have to like double check. Sometimes they say they wash their hand and they don't even wash their hand. They just run off to play. So that's
You
what my
ask them,
daughter
you're like,
did.
"Did you wash your hands?" And they,
Uh-huh,
yes.
yeah, and then they run off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and another one I have is a humidifier. Humidifiers are great in the room for your congested child or even someone who has like the tendency to have a bloody nose. Because
Yeah.
my house, I'm forever cold. I always like the heat on, and because of that, my son will have a bloody nose sometimes because it's so dry. So having a humidifier in the house has been helpful. I mean, actually, a humidifier in his room. And we use a cold humidifier because the hot, steamy humidifiers tend to get moldy faster. And so I stuck with the cold one, the cool mist one.
Oh yeah, definitely it helps with the
Hmm.
respiratory viruses or diseases that they might catch during the
Correct. But
first year.
yes. And also reminder to keep those humidifiers clean
Hmm.
as well.
Yes, they
So,
definitely grow mold, those
mhm.
things. Another tip is like for kids that can't take medicine very well, try using the syringes, aim it above their tongue so they don't taste the medicine. So it'll go down a lot easier for them and just close their mouth right after you, you shoot it in their mouth.
Mine has just got to an age where he is terrified of medication until you reason with him.
And then
We
just
used to
explain it to him,
we
right?
we used to spike his drink, put the syringe, give him the chewables, and give him candy with it as to incentivize. And yes, so far, what works the best is to reason with him. We're like, if you take the medicine, you feel better. If you don't, you're gonna die. It might be extreme, but one time he's like, I don't want to die.
That's
he takes the
extreme.
he takes a little medicine cup and starts sipping it a little. I was like, you might have to turn into a zombie, like zombie dog.
You don't do what like on the TikToks they do, like put the the straw switch the straw so that it's in the medicine rather than in the juice box.
Oh
I've seen
gosh,
those.
he had a very good palate where if I even put the medicine, like let's say I give him some chocolate milk, half of it, first cup, fine, right? Then I pour a little medicine in, I shake and I give it to him. He won't take it. He tastes it a little bit and he's like, he knows there's something wrong. Like he knows how the taste of the drink is. So,
Yeah, kids' palates are a lot more sensitive than ours. Remember, it hasn't been dulled down by years of use like ours has.
yeah. But aside from the health of the body, we also like to cover the dental hygiene as well. And I believe Kim, you started that pretty early with your daughter.
Yeah, what parents don't usually realize that is the first year you really have to push the dental hygiene a lot earlier than you think you do, especially when you see some of the teeth come out and stuff. Just try, I would turn on the YouTube video with Elmo brushing his teeth and singing and stuff. So that would incentivize my daughter to brush her teeth and stuff because she was really against it in the beginning. And like before they turn one, you're supposed to take them to the dentist as well. check on their teeth and stuff, and make sure that they get into the routine of brushing their teeth in the morning and night. Because I know a lot of parents don't do that because the kids are so against doing it, and they're really, really throwing tantrums when this happens.
Mine's is a different story. It's we brush definitely once a day. The morning is because usually he's half asleep when I put him in the car for school. So
Oh,
I don't, I was like, drink your chocolate milk. We,
oh,
so there's no time to brush his teeth. If he's awake and we could have a good sit down breakfast, he'll brush
mhm.
his teeth. Fine.
Oh.
Hmm.
Because with mine, we did her routine. When you get up, you gotta go brush, pee or poop or whatever, and then brush your teeth. And after brush your teeth, you go pick up your clothes and you change on your own. Because we started doing that with our daughter, like around I think 2 or 3.
Oh,
Um,
that's amazing.
and then she started doing it on her own when she was around, I think, end of 2, 3 year old. Because
Oh.
that was part of the Montessori routines that we did.
What time did you start the morning routine for her?
Whenever she woke up, we'd go and do that. Hey, it's time to go, pee or poop. You need to pee or poop and not, then brush your teeth. And then, we play the Elmo song or something on YouTube fun that she likes. It says, brush your teeth, brush your teeth. And she'd sing along and listen to it and brush her teeth. And we'd help her do that,
Hmm.
especially the
My,
back teeth.
yeah,
Hmm.
my son will do that if he's awake. So
Oh,
the
yeah, that
problem is
would
he's
help.
asleep.
Doesn't he
And
wake up
so
early?
we're working on sleeping earlier.
Yeah, you
So
should get him to sleep like starting around 8 o'clock because it takes him like at least an hour to go down to sleep,
yeah,
to wind
sometimes
down.
longer. So
To wind down.
another thing with the dentist, we like to add is that was taking my son to my same dentist because my dentist had two sons of his own, and I figured, well, I'll just go to the same dentist I have. He's an amazing dentist. We took him 3 times, and the dentist felt so bad because my son would just cry. We took him to a pediatric dentist, and it was amazing. It's night and day. He's still tough, but the experience is they have their ways with kids, and now I know why there's, you know, a pediatric dentist versus a regular dentist.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
We stay with our own dentist because she's our friend
Hmm.
as well as the dentist, but she's really good with her, and my daughter prefers her over any other dentist we tried.
Hmm.
So she's very patient. You got to find a dentist that gets along with your kids, and the kids actually like them.
Oh, my son gets along with my dentist. It's funny. He'll sit there, he'll make conversations with my dentist. He looks up, points, shows him up there on the ceiling. Hey, look at there's an airplane and balloons, the hot air balloons. Starts talking, and my dentist starts talking to him. He doesn't go straight to work.
Hmm.
Starts talking, they have a great conversation, and then my dentist says the key words like, okay, now let's lie down, open your mouth. And that's when all of a sudden he changes his demeanor from happy conversational to crying. And this is how my dentist described it. Your son is very gifted. He is able to cry with his mouth clenched tight. And
That's some talent.
yes, that is some talent. And going to the pediatric dentist, there is still some issues, but for some odd reason, they've worked more with different kids, so they know the different ways to go about. So it's a little different. And I believe, yes, it is that trust, and maybe a female dentist works better for younger kids. I'm not sure. But yeah, that wraps up our session
Mhm.
on children's illnesses. Thank you all for listening. Hey, amazing mamas. You're doing an incredible job. Always remember, you are not alone. We're here to support each other. You've got this. So please share your tips, tricks, or thoughts to asianmamanetwork@gmail.com. The email is asianmamanetwork@gmail.com. Thanks.
Hey there! We want to remind all of you that anything you hear on this podcast, whether it be from us or our guests, is solely for educational and entertainment purposes. This podcast is not a substitute for advice from professional coaches, therapists, physicians, or any other qualified professionals.